It's taken 2 and a bit seasons, but we are back today with our first Cup final at Tokyo 23 FC. The Tokyo Cup final awaits. We're taking on a team in the division above us. It's going to be a real test. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Now, before we get too far into today's episode, let's have some more good news out there right away. Junpei Noda, goalkeeper who has started very, very well at the club, it has to be said. 4 clean sheets in 5 league games, has signed a new contract already. We signed him. He wanted that release clause. I've had to bump up his wages slightly, but he actually signed a 3-year deal with an optional 2-year extension, triggered it immediately. He is now contracted to 2031. And alongside Rio and Takeshi, our 2 centre-back options, were also contracted to 2031. I'm feeling really good about our defence. We've been in some really good form, mostly thanks to these guys being big upgrades. The fact they're now contracted for the next 5 years makes me feel like things are sorted for a little while. Now today, as well as a cup final, we have got a game in the JFL where we are taking on Osaka. We will be doing an away day against a team firmly planted in mid-table. But first and foremost, let's talk about games since last episode where we won 3-0 and 2-0. Our first game was against Ganare here. They are not a good team. They're actually relegated down to the JFL the year just gone, but they are now bottom of the JFL as well. They could be on course for back-to-back relegations. In this game, Kayanoki was exceptional. 3 assists in this game for the left midfielder. The 21-year-old having a really good start to time at the club. 7.72 rating, 5 assists in 5 games. Yeah, a lot of the youngsters we've signed have been coming up good. After that, we took on Musashino in the Tokyo Cup quarter-final. They're in our own division. I fancied us against them. We won this game 6-1. It was actually 1-0 to us. They missed a penalty, and from there, well, I'm going to be honest, the game swung massively. Hasegawa, an uncharacteristic man of the match. I did rotate the team a little bit for this game. Great to see us score 6. I went against Sony in the JFL followed, the only game in the league so far after 5 games in the league where we did concede. A bit of a shame we conceded in the 92nd minute. Rio with a couple of goals in this game. I know he's not got the craziest jumping reach or heading, but in our team now he is one of the better players in the air. He showed it in this match. And in our next game, we took on Nankatsu in the Tokyo Cup semi-final. I ummed and I ahed about doing this one, but given the fact that the Tokyo Cup isn't the be-all or end-all, I figured we'd leave it. Komori, by the way, in this match, got man of the match. He was very, very good for us in this game. We got a couple of goals early on. Takagi with the goal there. And at 2-0 up, we kind of just chilled out for the rest of the half. 1 more goal before the break was nice. Made my team talk nice and easy. And of course, always nice to get a good win. That finish there by Komori, very, very nice. And in our most recent league game, we couldn't beat them 6-1 like we did in the Tokyo Cup, but Musashino came up short against us. A 2-0 win here. Certainly not the most comfortable of performances, but I'll tell you what, when you look at the ratings across the team, another great display. Otter continuing a solid goal-scoring start to the season. He's got 4 goals in 7 games across all competitions. A couple of them have been in the Cup, to be fair. His league form hasn't been crazy, but one man whose league form has been crazy has to be Takagi. The striker, who's unhappy still, has an 8.52 average rating in the league, which is the highest. He has the top goal scorer boot at the moment with 7 goals in 5 games, and he also has the most player of the matches with 3 to his name. Kayanoki also popping up there on the assists. We've talked about him already at left mid. Worth noting that Takagi does find himself in the Media Dream 11. He is the only player of our own that's actually in this list, and yet, with 5 games played, we've won 5, only conceded 1. We're looking very good right now, probably worth acknowledging. We are one of the few teams that have played 5 games in the league so far, so there is a chance that these teams trailing us will close the gap. But at least to start things today, I'm going to hope we extend that gap a little. We are taking on FC Osaka. They are playing at the Higashiosaka Stadium. Definitely not said with those awkward pauses in it. It's our first away day in a little while. It has no picture here in the stadium pack, so a surprise awaits us. Their media prediction, if we just look at things, is 9th. They're currently in 10th. They're going to want to win. We're going to be expecting a win. Let's go do an away day. I'll tell you what, you know, we're no longer in the local leagues. I've become so accustomed to just looking around Tokyo for our away days, but today we are heading west. We are heading to Osaka, and we are heading to Higashiosaka, and the stadium here, which actually in the Google Maps view here is the Hanazono Rugby Stadium, but I believe this is the stadium the team play at. It is certainly one of the only stadiums in the vicinity. and it looks like a football stadium. So I'm just going to assume it's right. Tell you what, there's some cool stuff going on around this stadium as well. We've got a park fountain square that's actually a circle. Go figure. Off to the side, there's an athletics track with a football pitch. In fact, I say a football pitch. I don't think it is a football pitch. It's a rugby pitch, actually. No, I tell a lie. It's both. I can see some football markings vertically on the pitch here. There is also, of course, a running track. Over this side, there is just a Central Park thing. It has a helicopter pad, so just a helipad that's also a park. Yeah, that's a thing apparently. I'll tell you what, for what would be ordinarily a lovely park area, very brown, isn't it? Very, very brown. Also, there's a park here. Can we go look at the park? That's what I want to do to start things today. We can go look at the park. I'm actually surprised how much street view footage there is here. Here is the park, which has the longest slide ever, with the slowest gradient ever. I want to go down that slide. That looks fun. Now, based on those street view options, I'm expecting when it actually comes to the stadium here, which again, I'm assuming is the stadium, maybe I should go check if I'm in the right place. I feel like half the away days I do end up with me going onto the club website. Here is FC Osaka, by the way, currently playing in J3 in real life. I found a map of the stadium. Did this look like what I just looked at? Okay, there's curved corners and then there's one end without corners. That looks, I think that's what we saw. Yeah, okay, look, this is the right shape, isn't it? This is expert detective work, by the way. Right, you know what? We've established we're in the right place. Let's take a look at the car park. That is the most important thing to take a look at immediately. Here it is in all its glory. I mean, the stadium itself looks absolutely massive. Part of me questions if maybe it was built or something for the Rugby World Cup. It does look fairly modern. There is something quite ironic, isn't there, about the fact that we're outside a stadium that is the rugby stadium. We were managing rugby in England. It's gone full circle. We're now managing a football team at a rugby ground. Okay, interesting. This is a picture on Street View from 2015. I believe the new stadium was built in 2018. This is what it used to look like. So it's definitely got a facelift in recent years, this part of, Osaka. In fact, I've realised something here. This is in 2022, right, outside the stadium. This is the main stand. If we go back here, we can go to, like, 2014... and look at it. Does that look the same? I feel like they've rebuilt it. Am I going crazy, or did they just add a triangle bit on? No idea. Okay, in terms of options in the stadium, there's someone who's gone for walkies around the inside of the ground. To be honest, that feels like a logical part to begin, doesn't it? Here we are in the stadium, and I can only assume this is before it was done up. Yeah, this is from 2017. This doesn't look as nice, does it, as it looked from the outside? It looks a bit sad here, but I think this might be out of date. I feel like I used to have an old Sabutio scoreboard that looked a bit like this one. I think it was part of the France 98 Sabutio set. If you know, you know. And if you've never played Sabutio before, you have my sympathies. Look at this, expert detective work going on here. This is from 2019 in the stadium. They added red seats. They updated the scoreboard. It's a shame the person who took the picture, they just had a camera from the 1990s, sadly, to take it. But this stadium has definitely seen change in recent years. Here, by the way, is the stadium on Google Earth. I feel like it looks a lot more impressive here. It's still got a bit of a funky design to it, hasn't it, with the mini stadium. You would have thought they could have maybe just expanded it over a little bit. Maybe they need the car park, and maybe they're just respecting the car park here. Also, this rugby pitch that's covered, I feel like they don't need it. Yeah, I know Japan love their rugby. Like, you've got rugby pitches here, there, and everywhere. This one is not needed. I kind of like the stadium, but there's also just nothing that's got me super excited about it. You know when you just have a nice away day, but there's no USP, there's no unique selling point to this stadium? I feel like that's where I'm at. Although, I will say, the actual roof on this ground just looks sketchy as hell, doesn't it? Like... It looks a bit makeshift, that's all I'm going to say. When I was preparing for the away day before, I felt like we hadn't had one in a little while. I was up and I was ready and I was excited for it. And it's not been an offensively bad away day. I just kind of leave it thinking, Also, is this Japan's answer to Stonehenge? Maybe that gets them bonus points. Okay, the Hanazono Rugby Stadium, as I believe it's actually officially called in real life. Away day score, an inoffensive 5. Also, have you noticed the football kits here with like the diamond bits matches the stadium? I want to give them extra points for that. I feel like it's just coincidence. Now, it's worth noting that today, there are actually a load of other teams playing in and around us. This is the game before the cup final. Ideally, we keep players nice and fit, but equally, this has to be the main priority. In terms of team news for today's game, Yamada is out injured, our real creative centre mid. It does mean that Ida is going to be starting today's game. Has started 2 games already this year, has not looked very good. Our decision to replace him with Yamada looks somewhat justified. Elsewhere in the team, you'll notice that Kajitsuka is playing at ball-winning midfielder today. I say ball-winning midfielder, it's actually just centre mid on defend. At one point, it was a ball-winning midfielder, wasn't it? But I have changed it up more recently. The reason for that, Yoshikawa, the man who one day will be our centre mid, he's injured. He keeps getting injured, this bloke. Besides that, though, the rest of the team is pretty much at full strength. Numata has slotted in at left-back fairly nicely since joining the club. Had one really, really good performance where he got man of the match very recently. Out on the right-hand side, Mitsuhashi has a little bit of a point to prove. He's on a 6.6 rating. And as I mentioned, Baby Noda in goal, signed a new contract recently, has had an amazing start to his time at the club. I'm going to hope that continues. So we have kept 4 clean sheets in our first 5 games, which is absolutely crazy. I feel like we didn't have a defensive record that good when we were playing in the non-leagues. I don't know if that's just a case of the 4-4-2 really working with the extra bit of quality we've been able to inject into the team. Is it just a case of we're riding high on momentum? I suppose we're going to find out over the course of the year. What I will say is if we are riding off momentum, let's just keep it going. Takagi, man of the moment at the moment, puts it in towards Otter. That is not a convincing clearance. They eventually get it away. Ida wins a nice little header, though, which is uncharacteristic. Kajitsuka wins it. If you were wondering, Jack, why is Sawa not playing at centre mid? Why is Kajitsuka there? Sawa's not wowed me yet this year, so I feel like he just needs a little bit of a sit on the bench. Giving him plenty of minutes, Kajitsuka has decided he does actually want to be a footballer after his mental decline last episode. Decided to give him the nod, and, well, we could be tested defensively early on here. Sato's shot there, whistles. What? That was not far wide. That would have been a good goal if it had gone in. Ball loose in the midfield. They are going to come away with it. Ida, though, battles back nicely. Rio to Takeshi. I feel like at this point I might want to nickname Ishizuka Takeshi, because I'm just going to call him Takeshi because of the TV show Takeshi's Castle. In my head, I'm going to call him Takeshi, even if I was to call him by his last name. Either way, on this occasion, shocking pass by him that's going to invite them forward. That said, Mitsuhashi doing Mitsuhashi things and winning the ball back nicely. And now it's with Kamori with Ida. Otter, in a bit of space, has the man of the moment to aim for. Takagi, lovely touch, lays it off to Kayanoki. The bloke can run, the bloke can pass, he can't shoot. It's been an all-action start to this game. 11 minutes into this game, the third highlight of the match already. Otter holding up the play and giving it back to Mitsuhashi. Rio now with the ball. Worth noting, they're playing with a singular striker, so I feel like our centre-back should get a little bit of time and space on the ball, as may the wing-backs. Numata cutting inside, gives it to Kayanoki, who finishes that. And I was waiting for the flag to be raised and offside to be given. It's not being given. And I mentioned the fact he couldn't finish 2 minutes ago. I would like to formally apologise. The finesse on this shot, the whip on this shot, we had like the dreamy angle to watch it. Watch this effort. It was not going anywhere near the goal, and yet it squeezes in off the post for his first goal for the club. I do feel bad for Jun Nakajima. You know, he's a really good left mid and right mid option for us last year, and he's still that on off the bench for us. But so far, the kids we've brought on in the wide area have looked equally just very, very good. They have taken the vast majority of the players we've signed, to be fair, like ducks to water in the JFL. That said, we've won 5 in a row. Momentum's high. It can vanish in a blink, and it's vanished right there. What just happened? I think Rio's cleared that against another bloke's head. There was some questionable defending here. Sato laid it inside. Rio has booted it against Mitsuhashi's head, and then it just fell to Endao, who makes it 1-1. The clean sheet, not going to happen this game. Numata at left back throws it to Kayanoki. Numata whipping it towards Kamori at the back post. Cleared away, but only as far as the man, the myth, the Mitsu. He keeps it alive, and now, well, we've got players committed from the throw-in. Can we craft something out? Ida, yet to make a splash this season, lays it back to Mitsuhashi. Kamori, players queuing up in the middle. Plenty to potentially aim for. Mitsuhashi whips it. Takagi under it. Cleared away as far as Kajitsuka. Kamori now, the 18-year-old, rattles the woodwork. It might still, well, result in something as we still have the ball here. We've got them pinned back, and then, well, Messiah has decided to shoot from there. He thinks he's the Messiah. He is a very naughty boy. That was never a shot he should be taking on. Also, between highlights, I'm having to wrestle with my hair today. It's very hot in the south of England at the moment. I've got a fan on off screen, so if you can see my hair waving, it's not, you know, I've not got an aura about me or anything. Although it does look a bit majestic, like I should be doing a shampoo advert, doesn't it? No, I'm roasting away, and I'll tell you what, right now, our players are cooking. Sadly, the woodwork's going to deny us yet again. It's 1-1 at the break. They've had had one real chance in this game. They scored it and then did nothing else. We pressed the issue as the half went on, but sadly, we've not done enough so far. I'm going to let the players know that. Kamori at right mid is on a 6.4 rating. Kamori has been very, very impressive to start his time at the club. He's got a good rating, even if he hasn't got the same goals and assists as his counterpart over on the left-hand side. That said, you know what? Jun Nakajima. I love Nakajima as a super sub. He's come on off the bench 4 times for us this year. 7.1 rating when he's done that. Need him to come in and just make something happen today. Nakajima to whip in the ball. Options in the middle. Ishizuka is one of them. Takeshi, he's planted his castle down. He's moved in a straight line and he's diverted the ball into the back of the net. Not only then did I try and make a 90s TV show reference, I've also tried to somehow wedge in some chess as well. Yeah, I need to save some puns. He could be here for the long haul, this bloke, and I feel like I'm burning them all early. Okay, 2-1, you know, very good start to off. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's get that second goal that I feel like we're somewhat overdue. Created much more in this game, and well, Ida, well, he can be the source of creativity, or maybe he's just going to do it on his own, or maybe he is just going to be that source of creativity. First assist of the year, Takagi with 9 goals already this year. He picked up the ball here, Ida, at the halfway line, and he ran, and he ran, and he ran. And to be honest, if I was him, would have had a brush of blood to the head and probably shot from where he was. He got his head up, laid it across, and that is as easy a goal as we're going to score. Okay, 65 minutes played down. Going to make some changes. Kajitsuka off, Sawa on Yukam. Otto's been a bit quiet today. Let's bring in Akai to play up top. I'm going to play him as the target forward over on the left-hand side. Got 2 more subs we can make. At this point, I kind of want to just save our better players. Kayanoki, I want to give him a rest. I don't really have the players to actually give him a rest all of a sudden. I'm looking through the team thinking, where do I want to save legs? And actually, it might just be the centre-backs. Kim on Yukam will give Rio a rest. And whilst there's a temptation to maybe take off one more player in Takagi, I feel like I shouldn't do it. You know what? I'm going to do it. Takagi off Yukam, Otsuka on Yukam. I feel like this game's done. I'm saving the big guns for the next game, the final. 10 minutes left of this game, there or thereabouts. I feel like another goal for us is game, set, and match. A goal for them, maybe the nerves start to settle in. I know in past times, during my time playing FM24 in Let's Plays this year, I've made a load of subs early and regretted it. And I hope that's not the case here. Bit of game management needed with the final, of course, upcoming. And I look at the likes of Akai, I look at Nakajima, I look at Otsuka, and I think, you're good enough to do it at this level, and they've just proven it there. 4-1, game over, beautiful. Nakajima getting the ball off Akai in the wide area, cutting inside. Otsuka timed his run to perfection, and that ball, tell you what, it only just squeezed in, but it squeezed in nevertheless. 4 minutes left at the end of this game. Match momentum really shows we have been the team in control in terms of chance creation. Only 45% of the ball, but we have had twice as many shots. Is there a chance for a fifth? Is there a chance for a misery compiler? Nakajima certainly thinks so. He leaves it on to Ida, who's going to burst forward, gives it back to Kayanoki. The left mid could make something magical happen here. Drills it in. Ida can't get a goal to cap off the performance, but that is going to be that. It's another win. It's another good little defensive display. And whilst there is only one automatic promotion spot at the top of this JFL league, right now we are occupying it. And to be honest, look very, very good for it. Brio Becker, who he played on the opening game of the season, you might remember last episode, they are in second. You might have also spotted Nankatsu struggling a little bit. They've just lost 3-1 against the team who were in 8th, who have now gone above them. Nankatsu, mid-table. They were predicted to be good this year. They are not good at the moment this year. By the way, we do get prize money in the JFL. Yeah, that's right. £271 for winning the game. Yeah, that really makes a difference to our bank balance, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, we have now got a cup final against a J3 team. Worth noting, that game's in 3 days' time. I thought we had longer between games, but it turns out we play them in 3 days. Well, I'm definitely going to rest the players. We're taking on Criaçao, I think is how it's meant to be said. I believe the second C in their name, it comes from a Portuguese word. It's meant to have like a little squiggle, which makes it a S sound. I'm probably still saying it incorrectly. Nevertheless, they are a team currently in J3. They have climbed up through the Football League, as you can see, in recent years. They won the JFL in 2024. We're trying to follow in their footsteps. I'd love to beat them here. They are, by the way, currently 18th in the division, so they are down towards the bottom. This is a good chance to test ourselves against a team at the level we want to be at. Let's see if we can win it and earn our first bit of significant silverware. Okay, so I managed to rest up the players, and now we are ready to rumble the Tokyo Cup, a competition that isn't the most reputable in the world. It's not the most prestigious, but I'd very much like to win it. Nankatsu managed to win it last year as a team playing down in the 5th tier. Tokyo 23, you can see, finished runners-up in 2012, in spite of the fact that way back then, they were very far down the pyramid. But it's been a long while since we've made it to a cup final in this competition, and I'm going to hope we can go one step further than the club did 14 years ago. Our opposition today in Korea are an interesting team, media prediction of 18th, league position of 18th, but it's the first time we're taking on a J-League member. I feel like this is significant, especially with how our start to the season's gone, and the fact that it's very likely, I want to say already, that we should ideally be playing J3 football next year. How we match up against a J3 side this year, albeit one of the worst ones, is going to be interesting to see. I've looked through their squad and some of their better players. Their key man here is Hirahata, 20 years old on £1,200 a week. He doesn't wow me as a player. I am not intimidated by their squad. I don't really feel like I realised just how good our current team is. I will say they have got a very good 18-year-old goalkeeper on far more reasonable wages, but nevertheless, when you look at things on paper, I feel like we might have the edge today. Now, in terms of team news, some good news. Yoshikawa slowly but surely coming back from injury. The centre mid sadly unavailable to start the game today. I could risk him, but his fitness level just isn't quite there. As for Yamada, he's still not available. Failed his fitness test, not recommended for selection. So Ida back in the team. And in fact, when it comes to the team for today's game, it's the exact same squad that played the last game, at least when it comes to the starting 11. Managed to rest up the players. Fitness isn't too much of a concern. Can I hope we can replicate the last result? When it comes to the Tokyo Cup, I'm not actually sure if there's a point at which we reach a league where we no longer play in this competition. There are some Tokyo-based football clubs further up the Japanese pyramid that don't feature in it. So this is going to be one of those competitions where one day I don't play in it anymore. I want to win it while we are still playing in it. That's why today feels important. Last game we had 3 highlights in the first 11 minutes. We're 12 minutes in here. It's still 0-0. Halfway through the first half, still no highlights. We've had 37% of possession. We've actually had twice as many shots as them. Now 3 times as many. It's 3-1, mind you. This is an awful game so far. I've really hyped up this cup final, and we're approaching half-time. Fortunately, things maybe are going to burst into life here as Kayanoki has a corner for us. He's going to whip it in. Rio is there back post, and Rio has his header hit the woodwork. Otter maybe could keep it alive. I feel like this is just one of those highlights that ends unless Mitsuhashi has something to say about it, which he doesn't. One highlight in the entirety of the first half, 2 shots on target, 1 for either team, has certainly not been a classic. It's the first game I can recall where Takagi hasn't had a green rating at halftime. He has set the bar very, very high. Everyone reacted well except Rio, who's disheartened, so I'm going to try and cheer him up. Keep going. I know you've got the ability to make a difference. Look at that. He's inspired. I really am an inspirational leader. Was just weighing up the possibility of making a sub or two, but actually, I feel like I'm just going to give the players a little bit of this second half to try and prove a point. Easy, of course, to overreact and panic. Like I said, I feel like we are the favourite to this game, and on paper we do have a slight edge. Certainly, statistically, we've shown that edge in terms of the actual performance by players, in terms of ratings and chances we're seeing. It's a lot less so, in fact, and how we played it. Now we really do have to make changes. I'm going to bring Jun on the right-hand side. I'm going to bring in Kobayashi as well for Mitsuhashi, who's not had the best game at right-back. Tagaki, I feel like I have to just keep on the pitch. Otter, this might be controversial. I'm taking off Otter. I'm bringing in Akai. It's like my grandma used to say, if in doubt, bring on Sherrod Akai and kick balls at head height. She didn't actually say that, but I feel like if she knew Sherrod, she probably would say it. Has just dawned on me, 15 minutes after this game, no idea what the rules are regarding extra time and stuff. Probably should do that. Okay, extra time, then penalties. Nothing crazy. You never know with Japan. Japan has mental rules. This is the most normal competition and match I've ever played in. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the half. This is just going to extra time, isn't it? Yep, it's going to extra time. I'll be honest, it's been absolutely bloody dreadful, hasn't it? I'm going to bring in Sayuki in the middle of the midfield. Ida's been a bit quiet. Elsewhere, I know I didn't start him in this game. I'm going to bring him on now. Yoshikawa, I was told he could play 60 minutes. He's going to come on to play the last 30 of extra time. I feel like I just need a bit of energy in the centre of the midfield. 5 minutes into added time, or extra time, rather. Is the game about to burst into life? No, I don't. Why have we shown me this? Why are we? Unless is something gonna? Nothing's gonna happen here. I was about to say we're halfway through extra time. We're not halfway through yet. Annoyingly though, Kamei here for them is over a free kick. I'm looking at Noda in goal thinking we might need you to come to the rescue. He didn't move an inch, the goalkeeper, but the shot was off target. Start second half of extra time. You know what? I probably could have, should have, maybe would have done this sooner on another day. I am going to go all out attack in terms of the team. I'm going to the 4-2-4. I've not used it all year. I'm going to use it now and hope that maybe we can break them down. They have been playing this three at the back system with a defensive mid and wing backs. We're not creating a lot. They're not creating a lot either. I mean, they've had 3 shots, one of which was a free kick. They've now got another free kick here. There's 5 minutes left. Imagine if they scored this. They've hit the woodwork there. There's 5 minutes left. I feel like this is just destined to be penalties. 1 minute of added time, it's gone to penalties. Look at our penalties. We have... Our best penalty taker has 5 penalties. I feel like we've lost. I mean, I'll level with you. I never realised that we just don't have penalty takers here. But apparently, we don't have penalty takers here. Jun, can you just step up and score the penalty anyway? I feel, you know what? From personal experience, I don't feel like the penalty stats matter anyway. Gonna go behind the goal, you know. It's a more intense experience. Kamei for them, who's been their free kick taker, scores. It's 1-1. Ishizuka, if you score this, I'll nickname you Takeshi. If you miss this, you're Ishizuka forever. I need to nickname him Takeshi. You know, I'll forget if I don't do it now. I know we're in the middle of a shootout. Forgive me. He has earned this nickname. He scored there. Imagine if I now nickname him based on a penalty he scored in a shootout that we lose anyway. Sekiguchi for them steps up, and I'll tell you what, he has absolutely baby-legged it down the middle. The keeper collects. It's 2-1, and I'm getting nervous. Yoshikawa, what can you do, my friend? He steps up and he kicks it straight at the keeper. Why did I bring him on? Why did I bring him on? We had a chance to take the game by the scruff of the neck in terms of the shootout. Instead, we've offered them away back in, and they have gone and taken it. 2 penalties scored for either team. 2 penalties left for either team. Numata, it's down to you. Hakuna Matata. Numata? It doesn't work, does it? He's scored. I won't sing. I'll control myself. Noda in goal for us. Can the man, the myth, the legend turn hero? No, be honest, the ball hit the back of the net before he moved there. Takagi, you've been so good this year, mate. Score, and it's basically sudden death. I mean, it's basically sudden death now. The keeper went the right way. He's found the back of the net. Our 5 penalty kick-taking Warriors have taken them all the way, and it's now on Kiyohara to step up. I'm looking at baby Noda in goal. Make the difference. Be the hero. I've given him a new contract. He's got rid of his release clause. He's pledged his allegiance for the next 5 years. Look at him. He's dancing in goal. Can he stop it? He can't. Rio, if you want picking up in the morning, pal, you've got to score here. Our centre-back steps up and kicks it straight at the goalkeeper. We really don't deserve to lose this game. I know they had some highlights in the game that were just free kicks, and I know we didn't create a lot either, but they had like 4 shots all game, and here they are, 1 penalty away from winning it. Noda goes the wrong way. We bottle the Tokyo Cup final. I'll be honest, I'm absolutely fuming there. I don't want to watch this. I refuse to watch them lift the trophy. I'm not happy. Shouldn't have let it go to penalties. If the players want to cry, they can cry. I do not care. Get me out of the game. I hope Rio doesn't want picking up in the morning. He's one of our highest earners, and he bottled it. Apparently, Kriosao Shinjuku, who won the competition, were the biggest overachievers. Football Manager is drunk. We finished runners-up. 2 years in this club's history, the bridesmaid, still yet to be the bride. All I'm saying is, when you look at the stats for this game, XG of 2.13, we've not bloody scored. Of all the games where Takagi just decided not to show up, had to be this one. In terms of when we're going to be back next time, I'm not entirely sure just yet. There's this sea of JFL games going on. Maybe we'll be back in July, given the fact the transfer window's open. You know what? Rather than promise anything, I'll just come back tomorrow and find out to end the week. Billy disappointing that we couldn't win today in that cup competition, but maybe a little reminder that that step up to J3 isn't going to be smooth sailing, if indeed we are making that step up this year. I feel like I'm getting very carried away early on. Could be coming back next episode and everything's gone horrifically badly. If you have enjoyed today's video, go down below as always, leave a like. Back tomorrow to end the week with a bang. I'll see you guys next time. It's me, Jack, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.